I do worry about men.
In what
In
way?
terms of like where they feel like their role is now. Like women are earning more, they're independent, they're not having children or they're having children later. And I'm not saying any of those things are bad. I am one of those women.
Mhm. We are one of
You
them.
know, we're creating businesses, we're wanting to pay for ourselves.
Mhm.
Do you think that that's like quite challenging for a guy?
My Mother Said I Shouldn't with Sarah and Michaela.
Hello, welcome back to My Mother Said I Shouldn't with me, Sarah. I am a health coach and actress and presenter. And Kay.
Hello, I am a life coach and an actor as well. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us back.
Yeah, thanks for coming back.
It's Sarah's turn today.
It is my turn today. Okay, so my mother said I shouldn't split the bill.
She says you shouldn't.
Shouldn't split a bill. Oh no, should split a bill. Oh, I've already got mixed up already. My mother said I shouldn't let a guy pay the full bill. There we go. On a date.
Really?
So yeah, which is weird because
Why does she think that?
well, I don't know, because me and my sister, like, we were saying this to each other. We both kind of just always just kind of thought that you go 50-50. Like, literally with everything. Like, you go 50-50 with the bill, you go 50-50 with your rent, your household bills. Like, you go 50-50.
So when you went for a meal as a kid,
Mm.
he paid. He paid. Did your mum go? Your mum go. You know what? I'll go halves with you on this one.
Oh, my dad did that.
Double standards. Double
I don't know
standards.
where this is going.
So your mum, your dad paid for the bills when you went for food.
Right, I did, yeah. So that's
And
weird,
I'm
though.
wondering, in your household, who buys the food most of the time?
Right,
Dad or your mum?
no. So it used to be that my mum would also go to the shop and my dad would go to the shop. My mum and my dad, but now it's all my dad. And then it turned to my dad because he just loves to go for a shop and buy good like food. And then now it's my dad
Convenient.
buys all the food. So it's my dad. My dad buys all the food. But I think they've got a joint account.
So your
Well, they
mum
do have
is
a joint
telling
account for food.
you that you can't let a man pay for your bill, which is
She's sat there with her feet up, having everything paid for her. Honestly, that's her. She's like a queen now. She's a life of luxury. She's in her house. Literally, she don't go shopping anymore. My dad goes and buys all of it. He's half retired, so he's just got
so
loads of
why
time
is
to
she
kill.
saying this to you? This is so funny.
Do you know what? It's really weird though, because right, that is weird. I've actually never thought about that before because I genuinely was like, yeah, my mum's always on 50-50. And she does, she's always contributed. Like my mum will
Yeah.
she'll have the money coming in, they both work full time and then she went part time. Just got the job was just too much for her. So I'm going part time. To be fair, she brought up 4 kids
Yeah, she
very
did.
young.
There was 4 of you,
I
wasn't
don't know how
there?
she done it.
No,
I genuinely don't know how she done
no.
it. Well, I don't know how both of them done it. But yeah, that's really weird though. I've never thought about that because yeah, she does. My dad would always whip out his card and pay.
So I used to be like 50-50 when you go for food and whatever.
Were you always 50-50?
Yeah,
Like, when
so
you were really young?
when I first got with, like when I was younger and got with certain boyfriends, they would pay initially, like, you know, on the first few dates and whatever. And then some of them, depending on who earned more, it was like that. Like, so if we were both earning a similar amount, like, so say if we were both students, we went 50-50 all the time. As soon as I became like, I got in a grad scheme in management, I was earning more than him. So I paid more. And then he paid more when he was earning more than me. So it was kind of a little bit like that in past relationships. And then I've had relationships where someone's paid for everything, almost to the point. And it's funny because he was the first person that I ever kind of allowed to pay for everything. He even bought me clothes and stuff. But actually, that was a really coercive and controlling relationship. Yeah.
Which is interesting. So the first time you've let someone pay, they actually took advantage of it.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I allowed it. You know, he wanted to buy my clothes and things like that, and I moved into his house. I still contributed towards bills, but I didn't pay any rent, I suppose, either.
so the first man that was like, I want to look after you.
Yeah, and
was
I'd
the
never
man that
had it
took advantage
before
of it.
because
Wow.
I didn't grow up with a dad, so I never had a man that looked after me in that way. My mum actually did see a guy on and off for a while, and he stayed in touch with me actually, and was almost like a father figure, and he used to like he'd buy me my phone and he'd send me like pocket money and stuff, which is really really sweet because we didn't have much money growing up. But yeah, the first guy that wanted to pay for everything, and really like put his foot down and was very much like no 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 I'll get this, was a big fat manipulator.
And
Yeah.
did that make you then feel like that was going to be the norm? Like any man that was going to do that in the future was then going to be like a
Yeah, I'm
bad
still a
man?
bit funny about it. Not with meals, but I'm very. After that relationship, I worked very hard to create financial security for myself. And when I would go on dates, I would I would allow a guy to buy me the first meal if he like insisted, but I would always kind of offer in the beginning straight away after that, like, yeah. Um I guess it still, like I say, it still stayed with me. So I don't let Tom buy me clothes.
Which is like really a shame because
Yeah, I
he might
know,
want
but
to buy you some. Do you know what I mean? Like,
and occasionally, he's bought me in the 5 years we've been together. He's bought me like 2 items of clothes that's not been like a birthday present or a Christmas present. Like, and one was like a 20 quid dress. Because there's two things about this. Like, I do let him pay for my food. Like, he is always there, like paying for the bill when it comes to like meals. But I don't take the mick with that. Like, he enjoys paying, he enjoys looking after me, but I don't. I'm like, right, we'll go somewhere where it's not too expensive, or we don't need to spend like 150 quid on a meal. Let's just go and have brunch for 30 quid or 40 quid or whatever. Like, that's fine. Or let's just go and get a big, a sausage roll or whatever. I don't know. It doesn't matter what it is, does it? It's that time that you spend together. But in terms of like clothes and things like that, absolutely not. Bills, no. Rent, no. He doesn't pay for my mobile phone. He doesn't pay for anything, like nothing additional. And I will, because he buys me all these meals, and I say all these meals, but we don't actually go out loads. I will take him on holiday. So I will, like, I've taken him to Venice. I'm taking him to Morocco next month.
so
Like, I'll
it's like
take him away.
you do for me and I'll do for you. Like it's kind of we're both paying our way, not paying our way as in paying our way that you have to pay your way to be anywhere, but like we're both contributing to this relationship financially.
Yeah, and I don't want to be like, I don't want to just be taken. I don't want him to think that I'm with him because he buys my food. Not that.
She
Yeah,
knows that, but
no,
I know
I
what you
know,
mean.
but
Yeah.
like, I don't want any resentment. I think the cost of the resentment would be more. So I think it's really important. And it might not be, other people might do it in different ways. So their man or their partner, the girl might be earning more money. So, and, Tom earns more money than me. So it kind of balances itself out in that way. But the girl might pay, but I suppose as the receiver of that, like, how are you making them aware that you're not just taking and that you're,
And
and
you're grateful.
yeah, and
Yeah.
maybe they don't even need that because some people, that's their love language. They
Mm-hmm.
like to give,
Right. And this is something I learned because
and then you're taking that away from them.
exactly. And that was a huge lesson I learned because being a 50-50 girl, completely 50-50 girl, that was like a struggle to accept when I dated a guy that wanted to give. That was his love language. That is his love language
Mm.
of I want to provide. That makes me feel like I'm giving you something as a man to women.
And how did
Um
you deal with that? Like, was that comfortable for you?
Very
You said,
uncomfortable.
and but did you get used to it? What?
I did get used to it. So the first guy I dated, the one before that, he was the first one to actually want to pay for all the meals and stuff when I went out because he wanted to go to really fancy places. So when we were dating, I says, look, I'll be honest with you, not too financially, like I'm not swimming in it. When I was in London, and I thought I can't pay for all these fancy restaurants. Like I just can't. So,
Mm,
and he wanted to go out to these. He's like, well, I want to go. And he's like, I'm financially able to. He was doing really, really well for himself. He was like, I want to take you. So can I please pay? He's like, I'd really like to pay to take you. So he wanted the experience as well. So that's fine. And then where I could, I would buy like a coffee and a cake. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? I would buy him back in
And
return.
how did he feel about you buying those things?
He actually was grateful. He was
Yeah.
like, he actually liked the fact that I wasn't just taking advantage of the fact that he had that money, that
Mm.
you could see he had a wee smile on his face when I gave him it. And he is grateful for
And what
when
if
you
you'd
do
have
that.
tried to pay for the bill at the restaurant?
he would have been like, "You crazy?" He's like, "Where are you getting that money from?" Like, do you know what I mean? But he was really understanding with my situation. He says, "Look, you're also new." Like at the time, I was when I was in London, he was like, "You're very new to London." He says,
Mm.
"So, it takes time to get yourself set up. So let me just do it for you." And very, very lovely man. So he was the first person that actually got me more comfortable. But it's because we had a conversation about it. Like we'd really sat down and spoke about it and broke through that discomfort for him to understand, for him to explain to me why he was doing it. But then the next guy I dated, he did it not well because that was his love language, and also that was as a man he didn't feel right. He actually felt really quite uncomfortable if
Because
I
this
was
is the
saying I was going
thing,
to
isn't
pay.
it?
Like he's very uncomfortable.
Yeah, because I bet like if you try to challenge that with some men, they might get a bit offended. And I remember being on dates, and for me, it was always a bit of like an awkward moment. Not always, but very early, straight after the bad relationship.
Mm.
It was always a little bit of an awkward moment. I was like, oh God, I don't know how to navigate this.
What do you mean?
Like when the bill came, I didn't know how to navigate it. So
like if you were paying or not paying?
yeah, I found that quite uncomfortable. Later on, I actually quite enjoyed the guy paying. So I would always allow the guy to pay. If his card comes out and he wants to pay the first bit, then I would offer to get the drink after and whatnot. I'd kind of, I suppose, self-accepted. I had stepped into me as a woman, being single, and I was thinking, okay, would I want my future husband to pay on the first date? Yes, I would. I actually would. I would want him to look after me because I've not had that when I was younger. And I would like him to offer for that first meal. Absolutely.
And that's actually fine as well. Like that's something I
Yeah,
realized as
it's
well. You're allowed to enjoy that.
chivalry, right?
Absolutely, you're allowed to have that moment. It is really nice. I
And
totally agree with that.
you're gonna want a guy to look after you and a family, not just the guy. Obviously, you're gonna pay your way as well. But when you are pregnant, you are going to need to financially lean on a man, potentially, unless you've got your own business and you've got income coming in, passive income coming in, which amazing, great if you do.
But a lot of women
But
have
a
to rely
lot
on
of
a man,
women
yeah.
have to
Or the
rely
partner.
on a man. So there's something like innately in there that is like, maybe finds that sexy, maybe finds that quite attractive. And then there's a generosity that comes with that of a man that wants to look after you and wants to care for you in that way on a first date.
Do you know what's also though? I think it's also financially investing in you. Because I think that's quite nice. Like when a guy
Not like a prostitute.
uh,
You said that in a way, and I was like,
financially investing in me. Give me the money. No, like literally. Can you imagine me? I'd be the worst prostitute ever. I'd be so uncomfortable. Can you imagine? Anyway, I quite like it because well, part of me has liked it because I'm like, oh, you're actually investing in, because money is, it's hard. You work hard for your money. And when someone's like, do you know what? I want to take you out and I want to pay the bill because I want to pay just to have you here and have this experience with you. They're financially invested in you. And that's a lot, especially in this day and age when everything's so expensive and you're like, that's huge. So when a guy wants to take me out and do that now, I see it in a completely different light than what I used to.
I remember though when we were working at a bar in Manchester, do you remember? And we were working at, it was neighbourhood. And you'd get people coming in and couples coming in and the girls would go crazy though. Do you remember that?
Oh,
and I actually remember, I remember actually having a man that did the same to a girl once. Yeah, I had one man that was going crazy with, she was clearly getting the bill. She must be earning more money, but he was going crazy with her money. But usually, not always, but you would see these girls that were just racking up the cocktails on this bill and, the guys. So when is it taking the mick? When is it going from you're allowing the guy to buy you a nice meal, to share a beautiful moment, for him to, show you that he cares and be the provider and be masculine if that's what he wants. Not saying that that's what he needs to do to be any of those things, but some people want to do that. When does it go from that and you allowing that to an individual really taking the mick?
I mean, that's all down to your personality, really, I think. Like,
Because I feel for men, because,
yeah, I was
if they're going on dates all the time, you got 6 dates in 2 months, that's going to rack up, especially if you've got girls that are, I never did that. If I went on a first date and they said they want, normally I would never go for food anyway, because that's a lot of time to spend with someone, isn't it?
I
Like,
agree.
if you don't like them.
And also eating in front of someone.
Yeah, uncomfortable.
Yeah, go for a drink.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
imagine they eat with their mouth open or something. You've got a whole meal to finish for that.
Oh, loud mouth. Oh, like it's, oh.
Oh.
I'm a bit weird with that. But if they did say, so I remember there was this one guy that was coming from a little bit further afield, and he was like, no, I want a night. He got himself a hotel. And he's like, I want a night in Manchester. Let's do it. I'd like to go here. And it was a really nice restaurant in Spinningfields. If you are telling me you want to go to this really nice restaurant in Spinningfields, you're going to get a hotel, then at that point, you've pretty much said, I am going to get that bill. So I did expect him to get that bill. Not expect. Yeah, no, I did. I did expect. I'm just saying.
Listen, you can't always expect. Because mind, I went to the Ivy and I went on that date and I thought it was a date, but then it ended up, I don't think it was a date.
But
it
that was
a
different
thing.
because
so
he
weird.
has literally picked it out, said he's getting a hotel, and I've gone, let's just go for a drink. And he's gone, no. He's gone, let's go for a nice meal.
Yeah.
And to be honest, he was very, accommodating in that way at the end and whatnot. But I was very aware not to rack up the bill. I'm not sat there ordering like really expensive stuff. I'm not sat there ordering loads. He ordered the alcohol. He ordered the majority of the food. I picked out a couple of bits that I wanted because it was like tapasy stuff. But I did not go crazy at all.
Do you always go, do you look on the bill and try and find like, the cheaper stuff? That's what I did anyway.
No.
See, I would. If a guy was buying, not with the last one that I dated, because he noticed it and he was like, Sarah, can you please just get what you want? But I would normally look at the thing and try and find one that was like not the cheapest, but maybe like this cheap to the second to the third cheapest. I would never go above that when they were paying.
I was conscious, so I'm not going to order a Chateaubriand and a lobster. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to take the sweet Michael out of the guy, the poor guy, absolutely not. And another thing I did is if I didn't like the guy, and normally I would know within like the first 5-10 minutes, then I would try and pay half.
I agreed with that. I agree with that as well.
Because I'm kind of a bit like, this feels wrong now. I know this isn't going to go any further. You've given me your time. I'm not going to take it anywhere. Who am I to take your money?
100%. That's exactly what I'd do. If I knew it wasn't going anywhere, I'd definitely.
And if they were like, no, I want to pay, I want to take you out, then fine, of course. But like, it was almost in my head. I was kind of like, no, that was a cut off. But with Tom, he does pay for most meals, not all meals. Like the other day, I bought us a really nice, expensive meal. And whenever I do it, he's like pleasantly surprised. He's like, thank you, babe. Like, that's lovely. But he does pay for a lot of the meals. And I do like it. And you know what? At one point, he didn't have a lot of money because we'd paid for a wedding and bought a house and everything. So
you did a lot in a year.
We did a lot in a year, and he was completely rinsed. And I just had like an advert come through, so I had some money. So when it came to paying for the bill, I just kind of gave him my card and went to the toilet because I was like, and I said to him, even if my financial circumstances changed and I was earning more than him, I would transfer him money, so that he could stop paying.
Please pay.
Yeah, because I really like it now.
Yeah, it is nice.
It's really nice that I like it, and I don't know whether it is just because I've never done.
I have a dad, and I don't really know how to say that. I'm so sorry. Like, I have a dad, and I
don't worry, I'm over it. I'm totally over it.
Well, no, because I think I also enjoy it. It's taken me a long time to get there, but if I actually really like the guy,
I wonder what makes
really
us
enjoy it.
Uncomfortable then with like not accepting it or
being told about being independent. I'm telling you.
Do you not think it's like a self-esteem thing? I think mine was a self-esteem thing.
What do you mean?
Like, I didn't feel worthy of it or something. Like, you shouldn't be spending your money on me. That's where mine came from. It's not like that now. But yeah. And now I'm very, very much more aware of like I went for a coffee and food with a friend the other day. And he had already told me that, I'd learned within this culture, if they invite you for food, they pay.
Oh, yeah.
So this was something that I'd found out I wasn't even aware of. So when I went, I knew he would want to pay. And you should have seen him run to the counter to pay for the bill so that I didn't have to. And he wasn't even like looking at me. It was not like, so I was very much aware of like, okay, you want to get this. I'm just going to say thank you and be grateful, rather than try and fight you for it.
And I think that's the thing as well, saying thank you. Because I know a guy that went on a date and spent a fortune on this girl. Fortune. This has been very recent. And she never said thank you.
I say thank you all the time still.
Well, she never
Still
said,
now.
I think it was on the third date, he said that she hadn't actually said, it was the second or third date. He paid for everything, a lot of money. And she'd never said thank you. And not that he's doing it for the thank you, but he was just like, this is really odd because normally people would just be like, say at least thank you. So he
That
actually
is a
brought it
bit
up with her.
weird.
He brought it up with
And
her.
what
He
did
was
she
like,
say?
because she wanted to go on another date and he was like, I'm really sorry, but I
Oh, he
actually,
didn't want to go on a date with her
no,
after.
he didn't have to, no.
I mean, to be fair, I get that.
Because he was just like, he just felt like it was like, you're taking from me. And there's, and I don't know. He just didn't, the apology, the thank you wasn't there. And
I guess that brings up another thing of like, are you giving to get back?
I mean, well, this is what I was like, is he doing it for that? But no, he was definitely doing it. I mean, I don't know. You'd have to ask him. But that was
Mm,
something that irritated him, irked him. And he says, you've
I
not
think
said thank
it's
you. But then when he brought
politeness, isn't it?
polite, absolutely. When
Mm,
someone's spending a fortune
bit
on you,
rude.
you'd be like, do you know what? Thank you very
And
much.
would you want to be with someone who wasn't like grateful in
Well,
that way
this
when
is
you do something very generous,
exactly.
like what you said, it's your
Yeah.
hard earned money
Yeah.
and you're spending that and they don't even say thank you. So he's not
Mhm.
wanting anything in terms of like a transactional thing. He's just wanting a little bit of appreciation
Yeah.
to show that
it.
you've recognised
And
that
to be fair with him,
he
he
burnt a
brought up
hole in his wallet.
he brought it up with her. He was like, he actually, the conversation he had, and she accepted it. She's like, I'm really sorry. And then she started talking about why she doesn't say thank you.
Oh, and what
Like,
was the reason?
it was stuff to do with her past and how she'd been treated and stuff in the past and all that.
What, that makes her not say thank you?
Yeah.
A pleasing thank you. That can make you rude.
I mean, this is what she said, but he was like, right, well, but he was still like, that's not going to work because obviously whatever he sensed it, and that's that. But yeah, so
And a part of me's just thought then, like, maybe she was uncomfortable in that situation. You know, when someone, I can imagine some people, fight, fright, fleas, like, I can't even speak. Fight, flight, freeze. If someone feels really awkward in those moments and it makes them anxious, they might just not say anything.
right, listen, so this happened to me today with a ticket, right? I'm going to be honest,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So today I went to this train station. I ran on the train because I was running late, wasn't I? Literally got on this train as the doors were closing, so I didn't buy a ticket before I left. And when you get on the train, you're unable to buy a ticket on the app now because it doesn't let you pay anymore.
What?
Yeah, you can't on your app. If you're on the train and it's already at the time of the train, you can't go in and buy that ticket for that train. To be fair, I suppose you could buy
You
for a
can
later
buy it,
train,
yeah,
but
you
then it'd
can
be
buy
off
it.
peak, wouldn't it? So I was on the one that was on peak. The next one would have been off peak. So I don't know if I would have got through or not. I never thought about that. Anyway, which is something I think I could do next time if that happens.
That's interesting. Yeah, no, what do you do in that situation if you're on the train? Can you buy it?
You're supposed to but I said you're supposed to buy it before you get on the train, right? That's it. That's supposedly the law, the rules of the
Yeah,
train.
they do have signs.
Right. Well, but if you're running late and then the next train's in an hour and you just need to run on and you can buy it at the station, like, come on. Like, there should be some leeways. Anyway.
Yeah, but if everyone did that, and you might get a lot of people not paying, like pushing,
Yeah, but
testing it, pushing the luck.
right, I do get that. And I know a lot of people that do test their luck. Actually, afterwards, I met someone that I knew at the station who constantly doesn't pay for tickets. They've got
This
loads
is
of
why our train
IOUs.
tickets are so expensive.
Right? So anyway, so I get to
Actually,
the
that's
train
probably
station.
not the reason. I can understand why you wouldn't want to pay because they're very
They're
expensive.
so expensive.
So expensive.
Anyway, so I get to the train station and obviously there's barriers where I'm at. So, you can't get through and there's a ticket man. And I always just think, I can go and buy a ticket from this ticket person. I get there and when you just get a feeling, I'm like, you're just not a tickets man. And that was it. He went, I'm a revenue officer.
Oh no.
And if you'd asked him, he said, if he was just here, he'd be able to give you a ticket. Because I'm here, I need to charge you. And I knew I'd heard of these charges. And I actually thought it was £100. But yeah, he was like, and I says, well, how much do you need to charge me? And he says, and he didn't answer the question. He just then started explaining why he was to charge me for the ticket. And I argued. I was not today. I must admit, I wasn't. I was quite emotional today, and but I argued my piece because also I was very angry at the same time. I'm like, I pay a fortune on tickets, a fortune.
You really do.
I
You're
travel
all
a
over the
lot on
country.
trains,
You do.
and I was raging. I thought this is an £8.80 return ticket.
And you are one of the people in my life that is by the book.
But
I've never known you not to buy a ticket. I've never known you to dodge a ticket. I've never known
Right?
you to do anything.
I
of that.
will pay.
You will, yeah.
So the fact I had this man telling me,
and I swear to God, you could have just paid on your app as you were coming up
do you know what? I never thought about that. I'm going to do that next time. I never thought about that.
I mean, next time, try and just buy a ticket before, babe. Just in
I
case,
mean, I
because they
know.
come on the trains.
I know, but I was right. I was so late. Anyway, so right, I got angry, and I was like, I was very much And you've been quite impressed with me, to be fair, because I was like, because normally when I get like, I'm in confrontation, like I'm like, whoa, like I can't, I'm all over the place. But I was like, no, you're standing here behind this place. I normally buy a ticket here. I was just battering off all my facts basically, and because I was so, I thought this is so unfair. And then in the end, and I also cried. And in the
Oh,
end,
you
I was emotional.
cried?
I was so
When anger
emotional.
gets to like that point that you're just like,
But it's also, I said to him, I was like, look, listen, I'm having a really, really bad few days. Like, this is really emotional. Like, this is not the day to be trying to charge me 50 extra pounds for a ticket. Um, and then he let me, and then he says, right, okay, that's, he was putting up the fine. And then in the end, he just went, just buy the ticket from them. After I'd had a bit of an argument with the man. He said, just buy the ticket from him then. I struggled so much to say thank you. So much. And in that position, I should have said thank you. And 100% I
did
should
you
have
say
said,
thank you?
not at the time, not there. I couldn't. I was so angry. I would just, because I'd come at this and then all of a sudden he does something, he does that. And I was like, I was not expecting that. And I'm still really angry inside right now. So I've not processed that. So then I bought the ticket from the guy and I was like, thank you very much. Put sunglasses on because I was like, I had tears in my eyes. I was like, thank you very much. And then it's when I went to the exit that then I went to him, thank you, as I walked out. But before that, I couldn't. So I get that when you're actually feeling, you feel uncomfortable to actually say, please and thank you, because in whatever's going on inside you, and that was the one moment, and I felt that when I walked out, and I thought, why did I struggle to say like thank you?
I
He's
mean,
put his pride down.
yeah, I know, but at the same time, in your head, you're probably thinking it was unfair for him to ask in the beginning because it came from like a place your intention wasn't to try and
Yeah.
escape. You went over to pay. You knew that
Right.
everyone knows there's tickets at Victoria. You can't
Yeah.
get through
No.
at Victoria. You have to pay.
Right.
Like, I've never seen those doors open.
The barriers are always closed.
No, never. Like, Piccadilly sometimes they're open, but not at Victoria. Not at Victoria. I mean, I always have a ticket because I've seen those, and I've seen people on trains. No, we're getting really sidetracked here, but I've seen people on trains get fined for not having the right ticket or whatever, like right next to me. So, and I'm sat there like reading my book, but like secretly looking over,
like watching the drama.
My God, the
What's
drama.
happening?
What's going on?
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I get that. If you're actually uncomfortable, you might struggle to say thank you, because that was a moment today, randomly, weirdly, was in one moment when I was like, I am really struggling to say thank you here.
You know, with the roles though that we, equality and feminism and being fair, where does all this sit with? Because I would love to know the male perspective on this, because I do worry about men
In what
in
way?
terms of like where they feel like their role is now. Like women are earning more, they're independent, they're not having children or they're having children later. And I'm not saying any of those things are bad. I am one of those women. We're creating businesses. We're wanting to pay for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that that's like quite challenging for a guy?
100%. And there's men that have had that conversation with me. Men that are saying that there's a lot of men out there that feel that they don't know their place anymore. Like what are they supposed to be doing? And they feel lost. And I think there's a lot of stuff online about that as well. A lot of guys speaking about that. But you know what would be really interesting? I think to get someone in that is that understands that a lot as a man, to bring them in and ask those questions.
On the flip side of that, though, I remember we did an episode where I said that when I was single, I was looking at what the guy did for a living. And do you remember all of the aggression that came my way? All of the men started commenting and saying that I was a gold digger, them not knowing that I have my own business and I have a house and I had so much more than what Tom did when not that I'm not, he's got an amazing job and he chose to go on lovely holidays and do what he wanted with his money. I chose to invest my money wisely. So if you looked at what we brought into the relationship, I had a lot more than what he did. And I had all these guys slagging me off because I'm apparently some gold digger. Because I'd said that I did look at what the guy did. And there's different parts of that. Yeah, of course, for financial security and stability, but also because I want a guy who is motivated
100%.
and passionate and has a life outside of me. You know?
There's so much more behind that rather than just, oh, she's a gold digger. What? No, there is so much more behind that.
So I think there's men out there that are probably very happy to allow a woman. And I know a woman actually whose man did let her go to work and pay for everything while he sat at home and played computer games.
See, I just don't find that attractive in any way.
Well, they've broke up now. He was not a great guy in the end, but yeah. So I don't know. It's a tricky one, but
Yeah, I was going to say it completely depends on what you're looking for. If you want your man to be just at home all the time, ready for it when you come back, like if that's what you want. But I don't.
no.
Right? I don't find that attractive.
I do find it attractive when Tom buys my meal.
I think it's lovely. Yes, and do you know
It's
what?
lovely.
I
I
think
like it.
yes, and it is nice, and it's okay. You can
And
be an
also-
independent woman and still have a man pay for your meal. It's absolutely fine. Just
And
put that out
also,
there.
it's communication, because I have said to him, like, if you cannot afford to pay, please just tell me. Like, just tell me funds are, and so now we'll go, just, funds are running a little bit tight. And I'll go, cool, I'll get this. Or we'll go hard. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he just communicates with me with that now.
And
Like,
I think it's also having communication anyway to find out, as you're saying, love languages, to find out if they want to. If that's something they
Yeah,
really want
Tom's
to do and they
always been
feel like they
like-
want to, yeah, like if they communicate that, and that tends to happen. Like the guys that I've done it with have been very vocal and said, I want to do this for you because it makes me feel good. Like, so that communication is good.
So before we end though,
Yeah.
would you want to date a guy who didn't do that on the first date? Like, if on the first date he looked at you as if you should pay.
Right, I've been spoiled. So I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be so honest. I've been spoiled. I now, with the man that I'd want, the man that I would like now.
Say it.
Yes, I would like a man to pay for my full, and I went from being completely 50-50 to I'd love him to pay for my first meal, literally because if he feels like, do you know what, this date has went well, I want to invest, he's going to invest in me, and he wants that. So
And
yeah.
what about in general? Like, are you a bit like me, like in the sense of I quite enjoy that Tom pays for 90% of the food, but I will buy him big things to say thank you, like holidays and whatnot.
And that's what, that's the same as, 100%. I'd love for them to pay, but also to pay back and like to do things as well. Like, it's like you do things for each other. 100%. So if they're going to pay for the meals, love it for paying for the meals. And then, yes, I will do other things. Like, I'll buy you coffee cake. I'll also buy you little presents. Do stuff on holidays.
Do you
Yes,
judge
absolutely.
people? Like,
what?
if you went for a coffee with a guy and he didn't pay, would you judge him? If you, I tell you something. Did I tell you about the time that I met my dad? I did, didn't you? Were with
Well,
me.
I was there,
Oh my
babe.
God.
Well,
yes,
I wasn't
you were.
actually in there. I was.
And I met my
waiting.
dad for the first time after, how many years had it been? 27 years, I was 30. And I bought our coffees.
Just says everything, doesn't it?
I mean, he didn't even offer, but I knew he weren't going to. So I was getting my card out before he could. And part of me was a bit like, you don't deserve this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I bought the coffees. He drank it. He stayed for 27 minutes and then he did one.
Horrible.
But interesting that.
So wait a minute. So you said you would judge. So would you judge a man
If they
See,
did,
like-
so say if you went on a date and it was just a coffee date,
yeah.
and he he expected you to buy your own coffee, or he expected you to buy his.
If he expected me to buy my own coffee, fine, 50-50. Kind of fair for a coffee. But if he expected me to buy his, again, I've been spoiled. I've been on a date again, and the guy was like, no, you don't pay, I'm paying. And I kind of like it. I actually like the masculinity in it. Not that all masculinity means you have to pay for things, again, but that I liked it. I was like, oh, this is nice.
It's quite expensive for a man, though.
It gets very, and this is the
And
thing,
then
it does get very
I'm
expensive for a
quite
man.
intrigued as to what happens in same-sex relationships.
They're 50-50.
Oh, are they?
Well, I mean, my sister's 50-50.
Okay.
I'm very much, they've got the same, no, actually, do you know what they do? Yeah, I think it's 50-50. And also they've got joint account, but that's because they've been together for a while. Do you know what, actually? I don't know. On first
I need
dates.
to find out. Anyway,
Yeah.
let us know your thoughts. Do you pay on a first date? Do you expect the man to pay? Who pays for your meals?
And also, have you changed? Were you 50-50 all the way, and now all of a sudden you're like, I've had an experience, and now I'm like, you want to pay? Okay. That's okay. Let us know.
And anyone who'd like to spoil Sarah, feel free.
Listen, yeah, okay, yeah, feel free, actually, yeah.
And don't forget to like, share, subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for supporting us, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys. Bye.